What's up, YouTube? Jones here again with another update on my 55-gallon. A brisk November evening here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. What I really want to talk about right now is two things. Thing number one is that back there, the Sicce CO2 Life version 2. This contraption. I'm going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's been going on with the tank for the last week. I believe the last video I uploaded was about a week or so ago, or maybe at the most 4 or 5 days ago. There's been some changes, there's been some developments, and number one, I want to show after I've changed, and this is a testament to not growing plants in sand, which is possible. I've proven it, you can do it, but for optimal growth, not necessarily even optimal, but for better growth, you're better off with gravel, eco-complete, dirt, something from Mother Earth, something close to that, something other than sand. I mean, sand will work. Sand, you know, you got to put some clay in there, some root tabs, you really got to dose it, but, you know, your roots will rot, you won't get any real runners immediately without highlights and CO2. But speaking of runners, I don't know if you can see that back there. I got a runner. That little guy just popped up like a day or two ago. Pretty excited about that. And I got another runner right here. Let's get a little close up, Mr. DeVille. That guy just popped up, I'm pretty sure this morning. I didn't notice him yesterday. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's kind of a big deal for me. This is really the second time that I've done a major rescape, but this is the first time that I've done a major substrate revamp. And so far, you know, eco-complete, 5 stars. And let's talk about CO2. And everybody knows that CO2 is really important for a planet tank with highlights. If you want to do a, you know, quote-unquote high-tech planet tank, CO2 is the way to go with highlights. I don't really consider these lights necessarily high, but they're close. I'll talk about those lights in another video some other time when I talk about my equipment in general. But right here, the Sicce CO2 Life version 2 CO2 system. As you can see, back there, there's CO2. I wouldn't necessarily say radiating, but emitting from the system. And those bubbles you saw, that was not CO2 bubbles. That was actually bubbles of hydrogen. At least that's what the manual for this contraption says. And to not worry, because I'm not losing CO2 when that happens. Now, I'm pleased with it in that it's a cool device. Problem is, it's not working. Now, I've looked online, I've gone to forums, theplanttank.net, Fishlore, all sorts of places, trying to find more information about this device. And no matter what I've read, it's pretty much been the same thing. No one knows. And the people that do know seem to, either you get one or two opinions on this thing. You get either it's fantastic or it sucks. It's one or the other. I don't want to give up on it quite yet. So I'm thinking about not necessarily disassembling it completely, but just taking it apart, checking to see if everything's working properly, because I feel very confident that the mist of CO2 that's leaving it should not be so stingy, I mean, I've messed with it. I've not shaken it, but I've kind of, you know, shaking it back and forth a little bit, and then I'll get a really good, great pressurized mist coming out of it for like an hour, and then it'll just stop. Now, the website, the box, the pamphlet says that you won't be able to see the CO2 leaving this device because it's just that fine. That somehow it just absorbs it inside this contraption and it is released throughout the tank. And I will tell you why I know it is not working properly, because my drop checker which is a quality drop checker, a quality piece of glass, has not changed once since I've installed it. Now, you could argue that there's something wrong with my drop checker, but I honestly don't think that's the case, okay? This is, Cal Aqua Labs' best. I mean, it's one of the best drop checkers they have. And I have the proper mixtures in the chambers. Everything should be fine. I don't think it's that at all. I do believe, however, it's this, and another reason I know there's something wrong, this thing is rated for like a 60-gallon tank or something like that, over 55 for sure. Over 55 for sure. And somehow, I don't know if you can tell, but I have it on full blast, right? My fish aren't gasping for air. I have the air stone turned off. I have it turned on at night. A lot of people say that's a good thing to do. I've done everything in my power to try to get this thing to work properly, and it doesn't work. And I'm not upset about it. I'm not mad about it. I mean, it's number one, it was a gift, and it was a very generous gift. And again, I'm not giving up on it. I just want it to work. If I had, $200, $250, $300 to invest in a pressurized CO2 system, trust me, I would do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat. But right now, there are more important bills to pay. And I can't really justify that sort of investment right now. One day I will, but not this day. But basically, the moral of the story is, if anybody out there has used this and it's worked for them, and their drop checker has changed, and they've seen quality growth. Now, you can say, oh yeah, Jones, you're seeing quality growth here, you're seeing quality growth there. That's true. But you know what? I can tell you it has almost nothing to do with this. I know it doesn't. I mean, I've grown plants in gravel with no root tabs, nothing. I would just dose little, liquid carb, like, what was it, Prime Excel or whatever it's called. Hold on, let me look at the fish thing here. My little tank of goodies. Yeah, Flourish Excel. I use that all the time. I used to. And now I'm trying to use this thing to avoid the liquid carbon thing, because it's a hassle dosing it every day. Excuse my poor directing skills. You're just going to have to deal with that. But the point I'm making is I want it to work. We're going to get it to work. If we can't get it to work, we're going to figure out a way to get it to work. Subscribe if you like what I'm doing. Shoot me a like. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, if you have any advice for me, anybody who's been watching these videos, if you know somebody or you yourself have used this contraption and you've had issues with it, or you haven't had issues with it, let me know. Shoot me a comment. Thanks for your time. Good luck with your tanks. I'll catch you guys later.